Molding Business Services, providing merger and acquisition advisory, recruiting, and consulting services to plastics processors for nearly 20 years. Molding Business Services, experts in the plastic molding industry.
When I was 16 years old, I began an apprenticeship to become a farmer. I had been on the job for 3 months and 2 days when my boss walked up to me and yelled, "I give you $1,000 to quit." He was furious because I was slacking off. I will never forget this moment for the rest of my life. I was shocked, stunned, but mostly ashamed. Although I was a city boy, I had been on a farm for a few summers and I thought I know everything. Well, I didn't. But I wanted to be there. I liked working outside and with the animals. I wanted to finish what I started. My boss challenged me to either shape up or ship out. So I got my act together. The experience changed my life. And although I'm no longer working as a farmer, the skills I learned during that time have given me a solid foundation for all my future jobs. You see, I did not go to college right out of high school. I graduated after 10th grade at the age of 16 because I grew up in Germany and I had a choice. I could choose the academic route or the apprenticeship route. I hated school. Having a choice prevented me from dropping out. I did go to college much later at the age of 29. By that time, I had changed careers and had done a second apprenticeship in marine hardware sales. At that time, I was ready for college. I wanted that knowledge. And as a side note, my work experience greatly benefited my learning. Apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are the backbone of the middle class in many countries. But here in America, their value is totally underestimated. And that's a shame. We need to transform our K-12 education system so that it does not automatically push our kids into higher education. Not everyone is ready to go to college right out of high school. High school and college dropout rates are high, in many cases because of boredom. I believe in apprenticeships, in apprenticeship education, as a solution to many problems in our schools, in our businesses, and in our economy. We need to get our kids engaged in hands-on learning in their areas of interest, and we have to engage them where we have a need. They need education that matches up with what's happening out in the real world. Apprenticeships offer tremendous opportunities, and not just in manufacturing. We know that the lack of truly skilled workers in many industries is critical, and this problem has escalated over the last decade. We need to find new sources for skilled workers. Our greatest source is our middle and high schools. But again, there's a problem. Our K-12 education system is currently heavily geared towards higher education. It does not prepare our kids for success in industry. I run a small company in Everett, Washington. We do injection molding. We have 30 employees, and we're making millions of plastic parts. I was hired without an engineering degree. My boss knew I would learn everything necessary on the job from my coworkers and mentors. My current employees also learned on the job, and they have extremely valuable skills and are very hard to replace. None of them needs a college degree. Ever since I started my job 18 years ago, finding qualified employees has been a problem. 4 years ago, I was in desperate need to find a new mold maker. My principal mold maker was about to retire, and I had to find a successor. So I started advertising locally, nationally, then hired a headhunter without success. I talked to our community and technical colleges in the area, but they couldn't help me either. So the only solution was to start an in-house training program and find our own apprentice. I contacted the Department of Labor and Industries, which oversees apprenticeship programs in the state of Washington. They referred me to AJAC. AJAC stands for the Aerospace Joint Apprenticeship Committee. Let me tell you a little bit more about AJAC. AJAC is a statewide nonprofit organization. It brings to the table employers, employees, educators, and the Department of Labor and Industries. So far, AJAC has developed 6 registered advanced manufacturing apprenticeships. Overall, we have about 250 registered apprenticeships in the state of Washington. Only 50% are active. Our current workforce includes highly skilled workers who offer valuable skills and knowledge acquired through years of experience. We must help these retiring workers to pass on that knowledge to the next generation before it is lost. AJAC, for example, hires these individuals and trains them as teachers. At businesses with apprenticeships, these individuals become mentors. So I called AJAC and learned that, in fact, they offered a 5-year apprenticeship program for mold making. Shortly after that, Ryan walked into our door and dropped off his resume. He had just been laid off and had some prior experience as a mold maker assistant. He became our first apprentice. You might want to know how he feels about his decision now. Well, he still feels very fortunate that he took this opportunity. He says he would not have achieved his professional and financial goals to date going a different route. As for our business, we have added 2 more mold maker apprentices, 4 plastics process technician apprentices, and 1 youth apprentice. They are the foundation for our growth. Now, let me explain apprenticeships and dispel some of the misconceptions you might have. Many people think of apprenticeship as just a low-level, low-paid, hands-on training for people who aren't bright enough to succeed in higher education. In short, kids who aren't smart. Wrong. Totally not true. I don't see myself as being stupid. Quite the opposite, actually. We are talking about education in state-approved programs that last 3 to 6 years. Apprentices earn a good living wage while working full-time in state-approved businesses called training agents. In addition, they get classroom training for about 4 hours a week. They get raises every 6 months if they perform well on the job and in class. Their tuition is covered by the state for AJAC apprenticeships. Other fees are covered by the training agent, provided that the apprentices perform well in class and finish them with A's or B's. So students graduate with professional certification, college credit, skills for life, and no educational debt. You can clap if you want. Thank you. Here's the best part. Our schools can prepare our students for apprenticeships. How? Well, first of all, middle and high schools need to provide CTE, or career technical education. Students study careers in industry and business and connect with people in those fields to get some hands-on learning. CTE is also considered a dropout prevention program. Students discover their interests and then see why they need more training down the road, just like I did. Second, there's a program called Core Plus, inspired by researchers from Harvard and MIT in 2011. The Boeing Company collaborated with government and local businesses across the state of Washington to create the Core Plus initiative. The intensive curriculum ties directly into CTE and STEM and connects K-12 with post-secondary learning. Students are exposed in more depth to work-based learning, and employers connect with learning at all levels. Core Plus currently provides training in 5 major industry sectors: advanced manufacturing, maritime, construction, medical devices, and agriculture services. Yes, more need to be added, but as a business owner, I'm actively supporting Core Plus because it will benefit all businesses in our state and beyond. So I have given you all the pieces of the transformation puzzle. Now let me put them together so you can see how it all should work. Number 1, school districts need to provide coherent CTE career technical education in middle schools and high schools. Number 2, high school CTE uses the Core Plus curriculum to prepare kids for apprenticeships. 3, students at the age of 16 are now able to enroll in youth apprenticeships with local businesses. This is a huge development in our state and brand new. In fact, it's so important that our governor just held our state's first youth apprenticeship summit. 4, youth apprenticeships are administered by AJAG, Department of Labor and Industries, and the local community colleges. Finally, 5, credit equivalencies are earned towards high school graduation. So by the end of 12th grade, students have earned enough high school credit to graduate. They have also earned apprenticeship credit, college credit, with 0 debt. We face serious challenges to building a 21st century workforce and competing in a global economy. Why? Because of our aging workforce, because of new technologies, because of greater demand in production, but most of all, because of the gaps in our education system. For example, over the next 5 years, Washington State will need to add 740,000 additional skilled jobs to fill increasing demand. Where will they come from? From Indiana? Apprenticeship is not just a local solution. It goes national and even worldwide. There are a few other states which have youth apprenticeship programs. And yes, Indiana is one of them. In closing, I want to leave you with these thoughts. We have smart kids in our schools. Some are just like I was, bored and unmotivated. Forcing them in a direction which is of no interest to them kills their motivation and their passion. We can offer them excellent careers by adding apprenticeship, which fuels their passion. We can close the skills gap. We can support the economy. Apprenticeships can become the backbone of the middle class in America. Thank you very much.
I swear I lived